Okay guys, so today I'm doing a spark plug change on my B58 Gen 1/540i 2017 540i. You need a E8 torque socket for the coil packs to get this bolt off the coil packs to pull them off. And then you're gonna need a tool set with, like, you know, ratchets and stuff like that, obviously. I mean, if you work on cars, you're gonna have it anyway. But and then you're gonna need, this is the really big thing that kind of fucked me up before, a 12-point spark plug socket, like yeah, spark plug socket, 14 millimeter. And this one's good. I got it off of Amazon. So this one's the only one that I have that works. So this is really thin walled in comparison to my other one. So I had a set that said it was thin walled, and then it didn't fit. It wouldn't go in because there's like this plastic white O-ring that stops me from putting it all the way down there and getting out the spark plugs. So shout out to that brand. I might link it, Atlin. So get that 14 millimeter. This works for the N54, N55, and the B58. So I'd recommend that for you guys. And then you need a torque wrench. I recommend, if you work on cars, if you work on your own car, always have a torque wrench. You're gonna need it for things such as the oil filter housing, and then you're gonna need it for, well, literally anything on your engine. But yeah, oil filter housing, oil changes. If you change your own oil, you're gonna need to have, usually on other cars you can hand tighten it and be okay with it, but I'd recommend, you know, doing it to torque to spec, you know. So especially with the spark plugs, you want to torque it to spec. You don't want to strip it or anything like that. Yeah, let's get into it. So I've already done all of the other spark plugs. I haven't torqued them down to spec yet, but this one is basically the one where I'm going to show you guys how to kind of do it. But first, you're going to take this bolt out of it with the E8 socket, right? So you're gonna take this bolt, this Torx bolt, out of it with the E8 socket, and then you're gonna put that into a pan. I'd recommend everybody get, oh shit, I hit my head. I recommend everybody get a pan, like that magnetic one to hold your bolts. It comes in handy. But if you have a oil catch can, like PCV delete kit, then it's gonna be kind of in your way, but it's pretty easy still to get it out. But first, you're gonna wanna break the seal that is on these, so they're kind of seized whenever you try to take it out. So I had to use my torque wrench, since it has a bigger handle, to break it out, you know, break it loose. You know, if you have one of those breaker bars, which I do have one, but I wasn't about to walk over there to pull it out. If you have a torque wrench or a breaker bar, you know, that'll work to break that out. So that's what I'd recommend doing. Get a long bar and break it out, because they were really seized. I don't know, I had to put like a whole lot of pressure. I was fucking bent all the way out. But now I take it out. So how I like to do it is I hold it down here and I twist it like that, because if you do this, it's gonna do it in like small increments, rather than doing this. It's a lot quicker. So I just spin it out like this. Might take a while because, like, you know, there's a lot of threads on them, but look at that. Bam, out like that. All my spark plugs look about the same. As you can see, like, it's not super worn, but it's evenly worn on that point, you know. So the point's like worn down all the way, and that means, like, I guess the person before me, I didn't see any maintenance history about changing the spark plugs, so that's why I decided to change them. So make sure to check your maintenance history if your car does have it. If your car doesn't have it, then start doing all the maintenance that you need to do. Yeah, transmission flush, fucking spark plugs, oil changes, stuff like that. Do everything that you need to do, right? But as you can see, they look about the same. You don't want them to be super clean. It's like, you can see like that slight color change, because, you know, I mean, they've been in there for a bit, and like it's evenly worn on the on that electrode. Because if it is like completely clean, then that means that you have like coolant going through your engine and cleaning it out, which is bad. And then if it is like black and blacked out dirty, then other issues. And then if your, what's it called, socket, like your hole in there, has like oil in it, that's another really bad sign. Like your valve cover gasket, that could be a bunch of other random shit. So yeah, valve cover gasket, and there's like 2 other things that it could be, but mainly that's the issue. The valve cover gasket is the big issue with B58s. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab our new NGK. The NGK spark plug that you are gonna need is gonna be the NGK 94201. And if you're modded, get the stock spark plugs. You're just gonna have to gap them, so I'll show you the tool that I gap them with. I got my tool on Amazon for $13, and you could use it for, you know, however many times you do a spark plug gap, and then however many times you, you know, do somebody else's spark plugs. So, you know, they're pretty useful and they're gonna be pretty important. So there's a new spark plug. As you guys can see, it's fucking clean as shit. I gapped them already. You shouldn't trust the pre-gap, because that's how you get misfires. If your gap is not right, then you'll get a misfire. If it's too large, misfire. But yeah, so you want to do that and adjust it. But basically, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ratchet, put this on there. So instead of being a magnetic socket, this has a leaf spring, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and put this down there. As you guys can see, I have a bunch of like extensions, because if you have only one extension, it's not gonna reach that far down. It's gonna be kind of annoying. But yeah, so just gonna twist it in like how I did taking it out. So basically, I just hand tightened it. I didn't tighten it all the way. I just stopped whenever it gave me tension. So whenever it gave me tension, I stopped, because now we're gonna use the torque wrench to torque it to spec. Okay, so I'm gonna set my torque spec, and I have the Weaver freaking torque wrench that I got from eBay. It's like Chinese thing, but yeah. So we're gonna set the torque spec to 23 newton meters, which is 17 foot-pounds, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on there. Okay, and now we're gonna tighten it to 23 newton meters. 23 newton meters. Do it very slowly, because you don't want to fuck up your threads. Now we're gonna test it again. What the fuck? Okay. But yeah, 23 newton meters, as you can see, you don't really have to try too hard, and you do it to each one, and then you're done. You do that, you put the coil pack back in, and then you put that Torx bolt back in, and since it just holds it in, I don't really think you have to do a specific torque, but I'll search it up too. Okay. I like to be very particular about what I do, so I also searched up the coil spec. I'm in the torque spec for the coil packs. So you're just gonna slide the coil packs back in there like that, and you do not need to upgrade your coil packs every single time you do an oil change. Somebody said that on the internet. So like, why? Like, why would you spend $200 upgrading your coil packs to like Dynams or something like that, or the OEM, which is like $100-something every single time if there's no issue with them? Like, a lot of cars will have the same coil packs for like years. Like, so it's not a disposable item like your spark plugs. Like, once they fail, that's when you replace them, unless you want to upgrade them. So soon enough, I'm not sure if I'll do this on this car, because I might end up, if I make enough money, I'm just gonna get a different car and then turn that into the main performance car and have this as a daily for my girlfriend to ride around in, because she drives a Chevy Spark. But that's the only time I'd recommend doing that, changing the coil packs. But if you don't have a misfire or anything like that, you don't need them. But the Dynans just have it said like 10% increase on power to the coils, something like that. I don't know, 10% increase. So I mean, it's negligible. If you really want to, you can. Could give you a more consistent spark, I guess. Stock coil packs will work perfectly fine. Keep them unless you need to replace them. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, now that I've torqued all of them down, I'm gonna go ahead and put the, the coil packs back in. And then the torque spec for the coil packs is gonna be 8 Newton meters. Do most people probably think that you need to torque this down? Probably not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Ah, shit. But yeah, so I'm gonna put all the coil packs back in, right? Putting all the coil packs back in and sliding it down. Also, if you have if you have a tiny bit of oil inside of the coil pack area, like where the spark plugs are, the spark plug like hole, then don't freak out immediately. It might not be your valve cover gasket. It might just be like from an oil change, like you changed your oil and you spilt it in there and it slid in there, you know. So it's not that crazy. It's a possibility. Or you could have just blown your shit. Anyway, continuing to slide these in there. Make sure that you put your coils back in the right positioning. Otherwise, you're probably gonna have a bunch of engine issues because obviously they shoot at different times, or like, you know, they fire at different times. So yeah, you don't want that to be fucked up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put each of these Torx bolts with the E8 socket, right? Slowly put all of them back in. I'm hand tightening them so they don't like fly out, right? And I don't have to continue holding them and them falling out of my hand. I could just put them in here and then go like one by one. But yeah, the torque spec is gonna be 8 Newton meters. 8 Newton meters or 6 pounds of torque. 6 foot-pounds of torque. Obviously, as a B58 owner, like, I mean, as a 540 owner, I'm like annoyed of Peak Shinobi because he's like always talking shit on the 540, but I think it's a great platform because you get like an amazing interior and, you know, a B58 for a very cheap price. I'm not sure if it's like he just hates on the 540 or if it's like he hates on the people that own them, which kind of makes sense. I hate like a lot of BMW owners and a lot of, but anyway, like you can make a lot of power with these cars because obviously it has the same engine as like the other cars, and it's really not that much heavier, and you have a great interior. So it's like, really, if you get the base model and you're at like 3,800 pounds or 3,900 pounds, you know, I mean, you can make a good bit of power and go really quick, especially if you change the hood to carbon, you change the trunk to carbon. You know, it's expensive, but you get the luxury interior and it's a fast car. It's like best of both worlds. But even at that, I want the M440. So it is what it is. But I think that people should stop hating so much. Like, what is your deal? We're gonna go ahead and put these down in there. I'm not gonna go and strip the bolts by fucking putting them super tight with the impact. I'm not gonna like impact these down all the way and make them super tight. I'm just putting it down in there so it's like it's quicker than me screwing it back in. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to use an impact to take out your the spark plugs, because if you do that, you're gonna strip the things and fuck up your engine. So you don't want to do that. But taking this out, yeah, you could use the impact as long as you're not crazy with it. Just don't fucking go, you know, revving that bitch. Just slowly torque it out. And then Peak Shinobi also hates on people that like maintenance their own car, right? I think it's because like of the people thinking that you can't be a car guy if you don't work on your car, which I would personally say, I think that if you can't do basic shit on your car, you're not really a car guy. I mean, it's just like, dude, what have you put into it, you know? You know, what do you really like, just driving? Yeah, like, this is a part of enjoying the car. Putting in that work and enjoying the work that you put in, you know? Making power after you built it, you know? That's like, I think that's the best part of being a car guy. I put in the work to make this look nice. I put in the work to make this make power and enjoy it, and that's why, you know, it's a hobby of mine. But, you know, if you say your hobby is cars and you like never worked on a car or something like that, it's like, what? But yeah, so now we're gonna go ahead and torque them down to spec. Like, I think that just makes sense, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. But like, of course, regular maintenance and stuff like that, like this could be a fun thing to do with your friends, but like regular maintenance, what the fuck? Okay, again, so the torque spec is 8 Newton meters. So like, yeah, the thing is, it's like, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. If you like cars, you have worked on a car, understand how to, at least, you know? But when I get rich, am I gonna get somebody to do stuff on my car for me, like maintenance and stuff like that? Yeah, probably. But am I gonna get everybody, people to do all the turning and shit for me, like doing simple stuff like that, or even complicated shit like, let's say, pulling out the motor and installing a crazy fucking turbo, right? Like, I want to do that, right? That seems cool. But will I get somebody to weld my exhaust? Probably. I ain't doing that shit. But will I want to learn? Probably. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't get how you could be a car guy and not work on cars. It doesn't make any sense to me. But who knows? Maybe I'm just a fucking retard. New spark plugs are in, new spark plugs are in, everything's torqued to spec, coil packs back in. So now we're done. That is it. That's all. I hope this video wasn't too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed. It's an easy thing to do. Let me check the service intervals. New spark plugs are in, new spark plugs are in, everything's torqued to spec, coil packs back in. So now we're done. That is it. That's all. I hope this video wasn't too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed. It's an easy thing to do. So you want to change your spark plugs every 60K miles or every 4 years, whatever comes first. But what's it called? But for tuned cars, or if you drive harder, you want to change it maybe every 40 to 30K. That's what the internet says, and I trust it. That sounds about right. That's what I've seen on like other things too. Some people say some crazy shit like changing it every 20K miles. I mean, not even 20K. Some people say every fucking 5,000 miles. You do not need to do it that often. Like, that shit's crazy. Like, what the fuck are you driving, you know? Unless your car makes like 1,000-something horsepower, I really don't think you need that. Even if you're making 1,000-something horsepower, I doubt that people change their fucking coil packs and fucking what's it called, spark plugs that often. Like, that is dumb. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys in another video. Please like and subscribe. My next thing will probably be installing my turbo inlet and then my charge pipe as well. But other than that, let me see, I'm not sure. But yeah, have a great day, guys.